Once upon a silence, there lived a girl whose voice had been buried long before she ever learned to speak it. Her name was Ziora. She was just 17 when her world stopped spinning. Bright-eyed, brilliant, and burning with dreams of becoming a doctor, she lived in a small Nigerian town where the sun always seemed to burn a little too harshly on the poor and smile too kindly on the rich. Her mother had died when Ziora was just 10, and her father, Baba Sly, once a strong, respected carpenter, had turned to palm wine in silence, leaving her to raise herself. They were poor, but they had each other, until they didn't. It was a Tuesday, Ziora never forgot, that the knock came. Two men in black kaftans, their eyes cold like river stone, stepped inside their broken home and changed everything. Her father owed Chief Tobenna Okeki, a man 4 times Ziora's age, who ruled the town from behind tinted glass and bodyguards. The debt was too much. The shame was worse. Her father, trembling, bowed his head. "I have nothing," he whispered, "nothing left." But Tobenna smiled, a smile that made Ziora's stomach churn. "You have her," he said, eyes resting on Ziora like property. "She'll wipe the debt." Her father didn't protest, not even once. And so, Ziora was married off to Chief Tobenna at 17. There was no ceremony or joy, just papers signed, hands exchanged, and silence swallowed. His house was a mansion on the hill, gated, polished, and colder than a grave. He gave her gold chains but locked her in rooms, bought her lace wrappers but burned her school books. He touched her without warmth, spoke to her without affection, and forbade her from seeing friends. Ziora had become invisible again, but this time gilded. Chief Tobenna had a son from another marriage. His name was Soma. He was 22, confident, handsome, dangerous. At first he ignored her, but he later watched her. Then he smiled. Ziora, desperate for affection, for anything, found herself drawn to him. And that's how the second betrayal began. It started with a note, then late-night whispers, then secret meetings in empty halls. He told her she was beautiful, that he saw her, that they could run away, just the two of them. But secrets rot in silence, and one evening Chief Tobenna caught them. Soma was sent away to London. Ziora was sent to the basement, for 3 days without food or light. On the third night, as she lay crumpled on the cold floor, a voice spoke from the shadows. "You still have something they cannot touch, your fire." It was an old woman, a housemaid. Her name was Mama Ijeoma, and she had worked for the family since before Tobenna was born. She bandaged Ziora's wounds, fed her, and whispered secrets of women who had suffered in silence. "Let them think you are weak," Mama said, "but rise when they least expect it." From that moment on, Ziora began to plot. One night, she found Tobenna's safe. Inside, papers, land deeds, bank accounts, bribes, everything. She made copies, mailed them to journalists, government officials, and a women's rights group she'd read about once. Then she disappeared. For 6 months, the town didn't hear her name. Then one morning, the headlines broke. Chief Tobenna investigated for embezzlement and child marriage. The town was shaken, his empire crumbling. The mansion raided. The man who had silenced her exposed. Ziora watched it all from across the state, living under a new name. But something still felt unfinished. She hadn't just wanted revenge. She wanted rebirth. A year later, at a women's summit in Lagos, a new name was being whispered, Dr. Zoe Adichie, a young woman advocating for girls forced into early marriages. Her story shook every room she entered, her poise unshaken. In one viral speech, she said, "They took my voice, but they forgot to steal my fire." People wept, and more funders poured in. Girls from villages wrote her letters. And slowly Ziora found that what had once been shame had become her purpose. Years passed. She never saw Tobenna again. He died quietly, alone. Soma sent her an email once. She never replied. Her father? She visited his grave with Mama Ijeoma, placed a single hibiscus flower. No hate, no vengeance, just peace. Ziora built a foundation in her mother's name. sponsored young girls through school, built shelters for those escaping abuse, wrote a book. But her greatest legacy was showing girls they were never alone, that silence could scream, that scars could shine, that from ashes a phoenix could rise.